Well, folks, you join me on day two of trying to get this engine to start on the garage floor, and I have done a bit of thinking. It's actually been a couple of days since I've been out here, and so I've had some time to have a think about what I'm doing. So basically, first of all, there is the battery I have been using to try and start it, and over here is the battery I will be using to start it. More cranking amps. And what I'm going to do is I'll see how this cranks over on its own. And if it doesn't, you'd swear I'm sponsored by Halfords here at the moment, but I'm most certainly not. um, if I am not happy with how much power that battery is providing on its own, I will connect the two batteries together in parallel, and that gives me more power. So we can maybe look at doing that. But I think maybe one of my problems has been voltage drop. Has basically been killing power to the ECU while I've been cranking, which is obviously going to stop it from starting. The other thing I didn't do is I didn't actually heat up the glow plugs. So now, it being a TDI, shouldn't really need the glow plugs. I mean, let's say it's 15 degrees in the garage here at the moment, but the fact of the matter is that this engine has been sitting for a couple of years, and every little bit helps. So we need to figure out how those glow plugs are actually supposed to be connected. Basically, just put 12 volts to them. They're kind of self-grounded, if you know what I mean. So we don't need to ground them out. So yeah, just a little bit of thinking on that one, and we should be able to. Let's see. There's a connector down here somewhere. There's a kind of a connection rail that goes along down to the glow plug. See this black part here? They're the glow plugs down there, and they come down along to a connector down in here somewhere. There is two wires go down into the ECU connector, and that's probably those lads down there. Okay, so yeah, and then we've got a heavy wire coming out of here. Alright, okay, so much to my amazement, actually, the wiring has been left in for the glow plugs there. So let's use that wiring, and we'll just provide it with 12 volts and see how we get on. That might just be enough to get it to start. First of all, though, what I need to do is I need to crack off those injector lines and just make 100% sure that we're getting good, clean fuel coming through when we're cranking. But that's after I swap over the batteries. So I'm going to do that now. Okay, so I have the other battery negative connection put into place here, and this is our positive connection here. Now I have everything kind of going down to a block connector down there, and then that positive is going onto the battery, or onto the starter itself. So what I've been told is that what I need to be listening for on the fuel pump is the movement of the fuel quantity adjuster, which, so far as I understand, is what manages the acceleration, and it moves through a full cycle, so you can kind of hear a click clack sort of noise. So let's have a listen for that now when I connect this up. So I'll get you guys close into the fuel pump. I didn't hear much beyond the sound of the solenoid clicking. The solenoid is down there. That's the fuel cut-off solenoid there. Okay, so I heard another click there anyway. So it's disconnected now. Right, let's reconnect it. Okay, so we're not hearing that sound that I was told about. So now what I need to do is I need to actually start having a look at this connector here. And to be honest with you, I'm not overly happy about this, because it feels like that connector's just not home. And what's happened is the connector's actually another noise from the pump, but not the noise I wanted to hear. I just don't feel like that connector's home, and because the part that supports it is a bit damaged, it's very hard to get a good turn on it. So what I might do is just take off the support bracket and just see if I can actually screw it home that way. So we'll do that. Okay, so I've temporarily connected up that connector there now, okay? And now have a listen to the pump. It wasn't making that noise before. So I'd say that was probably one of our major issues anyway. So let's call that a success anyway. So now what I need to do is I need to bleed out the fuel system again anyway, okay? So I'm going to do that. The power's connected, but we're not going to crank it just yet. I'll get everything into position. I'll get you guys into a tripod and we'll see how we go. Okay, so we have the engine cranking now, so let's get a bit of easy start into her. This is basically for when you're done talking, so far as I can tell. I most certainly am. But what we'll do is we'll heat the glow plugs first of all. So that's the connector for the glow plugs. So what I need to do is just get a piece of wire sticking out of that so I can just tip them against the battery positive terminal and get them heated up nicely. Okay, so now I have you guys set up on a tripod. I can show you a bit more. It's quite difficult to manage without that. So what we need now is we need a little piece of wire or something, as I said in a minute ago there, just to short out or to join the connector for the glow plugs. So let's see now. Okay, so go in there, and we should see a little spark if we're getting any power. Yeah. 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Right, nice bit of current went through that anyway, I can assure you. Okay, so let's try and start now. And if we're lucky, we should at least get a kick, if not a start. He says, with the battery right in front of the exhaust. You're not in death move. Should be alright. Let's get you over there. You can actually maybe see a bit instead of my back. Alright, it's easy start time. It's wanting to go. I'm gonna get over here. I'm getting nervous. It's just wanting to go, but it's also going to want to waltz across the garage floor, which is what I'm afraid of. That's why I'm being a little bit, like, I know it could actually start now, so. Yeah, now we're getting smoke out of the exhaust. We're in business, folks, we're getting there. Oh! Okay. Yeah, I chickened out. Definitely chickened out. Getting some pressure. Let's just try heating the glow plugs again and see if it'll start without the easy start now. Four, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now you'll notice I'm not touching the accelerator because I don't want this engine to go for a fly. It's wanting to slide off. Right. I'm going to pressurise my fuel tank again. I'm going to crack the injectors open because I think this was running on the easy start now, but it's going to start. Okay, so I can hear air coming in through the fuel return line now. You see a few drips coming through here now. Okay, so now we're getting drips through the fuel return line now. So okay, so that's half the battle, right? So let's crack the injector lines open. So crack that one open there. You should see a nice little bit of fuel coming out of them when we're primed and ready to go. I just do 2 and 3, it'll be enough. So let's crank, see what we get. She's trying to do the job. Yeah, there's definitely fuel up there anyway. What do you reckon when we go for a start? Let's see how we get on. Come on, let's do this, folks. Bloody connection is wonky. Like the air feed is warm, so. It's gonna start anyway, we know that now. But it's gonna smoke like a bloody trooper. Come on. Don't leave me hanging. I gotta stop bottling it. Couldn't be standing in a worse position for this. Right, let's get the wooden blocks underneath the engine. It's inclined to kind of come down this way, so. Okay, now the wooden blocks are underneath the sump properly. I'm half tempted to push it outside, folks, you know that? I think it would be safer. And, well, let's see. Let's see if we can get it going. I can pull the positive off straight away if needs be. Okay. Yes, it started, but I'm getting sparks from the back of the flywheel from something. And I'm thinking that's because the flywheel is rubbing on the back plate. I need to find out why that is. Right, let's have a quick look and see. Let's just try it out one more time. Hopefully it'll start quite quickly this time. Let's heat the glow plugs again. Okay, right, now the glow plugs are warmed. Let's get that up out of the way. Okay. So I've taken the head of pressure off the fuel tank because it could suck now. We need to think of a better arrangement for the fuel catch. I didn't expect it to vibrate so much, but of course it's running on 3 cylinders, so it would be. Start to piss and diesel out of here as well too. So let's tighten that up. Now, grand, right, should run a bit smoother. Let's do something like that fuel return. Okay, so we have a fuel catch bottle set up over there now, away from the engine. That injector union is tight again. I'll just give it a little bit of a wipe to get some of the diesel off so it doesn't smoke excessively. The engine's going to smoke badly enough without diesel burning off. Of course, I'm not intending to let it get that hot. I just want to just proving that it runs. We kind of have done that already, but let's give her a bit of welly again this time. Well, I'm not going to accelerate it. I don't want to see that happen, as it'll fly on me, I reckon. Yes. It runs. Yeah. Sounds good as well too, actually. Yeah. So why don't I have a look at it? Easy Start works a treat, by the way, folks. That's brilliant stuff. Now, I can only run for a short period of time before I'll end up with carbon monoxide poisoning. Okay, we have power. Now, hopefully this time it'll start easier again. Right. So, it rattles something fierce. I can hear that. Yeah, so if I keep it pulled over here. Perfect.
Fantastic.
Brilliant. That's great.
Well done.
Thank you. Sorry. This diesel. Good luck. Yeah. Thank you very much. Huh? Yeah, I wish. That was my good lady wife out to congratulate me. There's a lot of hard work went into this. So that's always nice. Yeah, so now I need to find out what is going on with that back plate. I'm thinking what's happening is it's just flexed out a little bit, so I think once we kind of bolt the gearbox on and everything, it'll be all right. Aside from that, I don't know what else it could be, but yeah, it's running. So happy days. Okay, so now that I know the engine's running, I've taken off the electrical harness again. Basically, my big reveal has been done, so now it's really a case of proceeding ahead to get it into the van. I am thinking that when I bolt the gearbox to the adapter plate, it's going to push back the shim plate at the back of the flywheel, and that will stop it from rubbing on the flywheel. It's only a very slight rub. I mean, it's not rubbing heavily or anything like that. So if it was, obviously I would address it straight away. But anyway, I would have checked to see if the engine was turning over. But I mean, there's nothing else I can do about it, really. Like, I mean, take the flywheel off or what? Like, I mean, take the shim plate off. But then there's no backing behind the flywheel, which I don't think is ideal. So anyway, right, we're going to leave it as it is. We're going to bolt the gearbox up. And what I've actually done now is put the clutch on. So the clutch is on, and using my homemade alignment tool, which is a beautiful piece of engineering. No prizes for guessing what that is. Anyway, seemed to do the trick. Well, I'm saying that now, and yet of course when it comes to actually bolting the engine onto the gearbox, it probably won't have done the trick at all, and I will end up swearing an awful lot. But anyway, look, we'll soldier on and see how we get on. But yeah, so let's bring the gearbox over and start trying to offer it up and see how we get on now. These things never go according to plan. The gearbox weighs a bloody ton, and I'm trying to wrestle it on, and just will not go on. I obviously haven't got the clutch alignment right. So I have it supported with 2 trolley jacks there. Yeah, it's just fighting me. So I think what I have to do is pull it back off, maybe loosen the clutch plate a bit. Yeah, I think that's what I'll do. Loosen the clutch plate, the pressure plate I mean, take the, offer up the gearbox, let it slot home, and then gently pull the gearbox back off again, and then tighten the clutch plate and put it on, and it should do the job. So we'll try that. Okay, I tried what I said I was going to do, and it didn't work. So the language is starting to get a bit of blue in this garage at this point in time. So I think I'm going to just call it a night. Let's call fitting the gearbox another day's work. But the fact that we had this running today is immensely satisfying. I think what I need to do is I need to invest in a clutch alignment tool, and they make a tool for the job for a reason, so I suppose now's as good a time as any to invest in one. I don't do a huge amount of clutches, but for the one that I'm battling with here, that probably would be a good idea to have one. So yeah, anyway, look at we'll pick this up again another day, as I said. The point I'm at now is that when I have this gearbox installed, I want to start having a look at the intercooler pipework and kind of getting everything a little bit more set up on the engine to drop straight into the van. But I want to take the engine and gearbox out of the van. So that's kind of we're sort of at that point now. I mean, I'm satisfied that once the engine kind of started and was ticking over, given the fact that it hadn't been running for a while, there wasn't plumes of black smoke coming off it, which is brilliant. There was initially, but you're going to get that. So yeah, I'm happy. I think it was a good achievement today. So yeah, please do join me in future videos, and I'll keep you updated on my progress. Thanks for watching.